Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for being here. I'd like to call this evening's City Council meeting on April the 8th to order. I call on clerk to call the roll.
Invocation.
Travis, invocation, yes.
Yes, sir. With us tonight is the senior pastor of First United Methodist Church, Pastor Dan Huck. He is going to open our meeting with a word of prayer tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. A joy to be with you this evening. Shall we pray? Gracious God, we give you thanks for our mayor, our council members, all our elected officials. For their faithful service, we give you thanks. For their leadership, we give you thanks. And for their commitment and dedication to act and govern in the best interest of our city, we return thanks. We pray for the agenda before them this evening. We ask that you would give them wisdom and discernment for the decisions and challenges that await them. And we pray especially for all of those affected by the storms and mass flooding. We pray for strength and comfort and help and peace amidst such trying and difficult circumstances for so many. We each lift them before you now in a moment of silent prayer. We pray for our city. May this be a safe and secure place to live with equality and justice and opportunity for all its people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Righty, now we'll call on Brittany to call the roll. Excuse me there.
Councilmember Smith,
Present.
Councilmember Stallings, Councilmember Marsh,
Here.
Councilmember Crabtree, Councilmember Craig, here. Councilmember Martin,
Here.
Councilmember Sumner, Councilmember Meek,
Here.
Councilmember Bogard, Councilmember Velez,
Here.
Councilmember Bell,
Here.
Councilmember Droud. Here. We have a quorum.
Now we'll go to item 5, awards and recognitions. Chief Futrell.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We have 3 recognitions tonight. 1 firefighter getting pinned that just came out of the academy, and 2 promotions. So first, I'd like to call up Jacob Newby. Just completed our 10-week academy. He is being assigned to Battalion 1. He did receive his Firefighter 1, Firefighters 2, Hazmat Alps, and awareness. He's being pinned tonight by his brother, Justin Newby. I will also say that one of Jacob's first shifts was the flood, and he was one of the first firefighters in the boats for rescues. Next, we have Anthony Richardson getting promoted to lieutenant. Lieutenant Richardson's been with the fire department for 5 years. He's being assigned to Battalion 2. Last year, he actually received Firefighter of the Year award. He received his advanced EMT in 2023. He was on the Station 5 building committee, our accreditation committee, our SCBA committee. He's done many things. He's being pinned tonight by his wife, Emily, and son, Jaden. Next, we have Captain Chad Taylor getting promoted to captain. He's been with us for just over 10 years, being assigned to Battalion 2. He was promoted to lieutenant in 2019. He's the captain of our rope rescue team. He's also on our swift water team, our confined space team, being promoted or being pinned tonight by his wife, Kaylee.
I state your name. Citizen of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Citizen of the Commonwealth of Kentucky and of the United States of America, do solemnly swear that you will faithfully perform to the best of your abilities the duty of firefighter for the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and will support, protect, and preserve life and property of the citizens of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. So help you God. I state your name. Is a citizen of the Commonwealth of Kentucky of the United States of America, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully perform the best of my abilities the duty of lieutenant for the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and will support, protect, preserve life, property, and the citizens of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. So help you God. I state your name.
Chad Taylor.
A citizen of the Commonwealth of Kentucky and of the United States of America, do solemnly swear that will faithfully perform to the best of your ability the duty of the captain for the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and will support, protect, and preserve life and property of the citizen of Hopkinsville, Kentucky. So help you God.
And we have the family come up with their badges, please.
All right. Mayor's comments. Let them slide out and we'll move forward. All righty. We'll move into item 6, mayor's comments. I'd like to say thank you to all my first responders, my firefighters, Randy Graham and emergency management, and everyone, Public Works. They put in a lot of hours this last weekend, starting Thursday night till yesterday afternoon. They was really glad to be able to go home and sit down for a minute. But my hat's off to everyone for all their hard work that they did and got out and inspecting and the rescues that we had to do. We had a lot of things going on from all the rain and the flooding, but I want to say thank you all for all you did for us. Thank you. We also have the paint and skate youth event this Saturday from 9 to 3. Be bouncers, food, drinks, things like that will be there, but we're going to paint the skate park and brighten it up a little bit. So we ask everyone to come out and be a part of it and have a lot of fun with us. I also want you to, Hopkinsville Area Friends to Scouting will be on Tuesday, May the 6th at the Hopkinsville Country Club. So get a hold of them on that. Mark McGee and them are putting that on for Friends of Scouting. And if you hadn't been down Pardue Lane, Mike Perry and his crew have been working very hard on Pardue Park. We're getting a lot of dirt work moving. Some of it washed away the other day down there, but they're working on it, moving forward and getting it moving forward. And I appreciate that on Pardue Park. And here shortly, we'll have us a nice, beautiful playground and park area over there on that. Take Kids Fishing Days in May at Jeffers Bend. Everybody get ready for that. We have a lot of fun out there with Miss Charles and Miss Croney. We have a lot of fun out there on that day. And watch it. We might find Travis driving a tractor. That's right. Christian County 4-H Camp is in June. Check their web pages for that, for them events coming up. And if anything, just let us know. We'll be glad to help you with on that. We'll move into item 7, reports from officers and every that. We'll start with the sins element in item 7. Like to come up front and speak? Thank you.
Thanks for having me this evening. A couple of you I've met, most of I have not. So I'll do a quick introduction. My name is Mark Fern. I'm the plant manager of the Ascend Elements facility. It's the one out on John Rivers Road, large construction project. I want to give you a brief overview of what the status is, what our plans moving forward in the future, and absolutely I can answer some questions if you have them. So status of the facility. Right now, we're on a construction pause. We absolutely will continue with the construction. We were on an accelerated timeline. We were moving and we were designing and building at the same time, which ends up being a pretty expensive endeavor. So what we've done is we've paused the construction to let the engineering work catch up to that construction part. Then we'll come in and we'll start again later this year. It'll be towards the end of the year, we'll rebid the project and we'll restart construction on a fixed bid versus a time and materials. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We'll be operational most likely towards the end of next year, 2026. So essentially we've got our customers, our offtake contracts, we've got those lined up. We'll back it up our hiring based on when we need to fill those contracts. There's some news, some information in the news about a grant that we gave back. So I wanted to answer to what that is. What our product is with Ascend Elements is we make what we call PCAM. It's a precursor to the cathode active material for the batteries. CAM is the actual cathode material. So there's two different products. Our business, our IP, our invention is all about making the PCAM. So when we were given the CAM grant, that was an opportunity for us to have a second product line. When we've looked at the market, we've decided now we're best to stay with what we're good at. So we all volunteered to give that grant back, but that really doesn't impact our plans of Kentucky because that was a PCAM plant all along. But I know there were some concerns in the community when we voluntarily gave back that federal grant. So with that, that's kind of a lot of information in a short amount of time.
Yes, sir.
Are there any direct questions? Some of them I can try to answer. Some I might have to pass on to others.
Right. Any questions?
Just to confirm, you said the construction plans to start back the end of 25 this year
Correct.
and then up and operational end of 26?
That's correct.
Okay. Make sure I heard that right.
Yep.
What's the difference in what was originally proposed as far as work, amount of people, amount of employees versus now with the cutbacks?
It should be very similar. We originally planned for, I believe it was 250 people at the end of the first phase and up to 400 people by the end of the second phase. Those are all still planned. Essentially what we've done is we've taken the entire project timeline and pushed it back a year. If you just make a round number.
So it's not much impact in losing that grant that was going to do that?
No, that was actually an additional above and beyond what was originally planned. Yeah, the original incentives, the original package that was put together when we moved out there didn't include the CAM project. That was kind of an optional that we went for.
Any other questions for Mr. Mark? Well, Mark, I know
you're being easy on me.
Yeah, well, we're being easy on you, but we also know you've got a lot going on.
Okay.
We know you're pushing forward, and I know, and that's what I keep telling everyone. Me and Miss Deanna have a conversation here pretty often.
Yep.
She keeps me informed of where we're at.
Good.
But you know where we are is we want to just. I'm glad you came today on this. You know, we know there's allegations of lawsuits and things like that, and Doug's aware of it, and he says nothing for us to be concerned about right now. So that's one thing that we're not going to bother you with and hang over your head with a bunch of questions like that.
I couldn't answer them anyway.
Okay,
So.
there you go.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah,
but
okay.
with that being said, we appreciate y'all keeping us informed where we're at and how we are moving forward. And we appreciate that very much, sir.
Likewise.
Thank
Yeah, I appreciate it. And we've been welcoming the community. The help has been excellent everywhere we've turned. We've had good contacts in Hopkinsville. So it's been a pleasant experience. Just a delay. So
It's just a delay, and I'm looking forward for the opening day. That's what we are.
likewise. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. All righty. Item B, on zoning, I believe that's Mr. Tom Britton, 3125 and 3165 Katie's Road, Robert Meacham.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor, council members. I'm bringing you two recommendations tonight for original zoning. The first is for the Meacham property on Katie's Road. For the benefit of the new council members, just to give you a little bit of background, we have been working for the last 20 months to zone property in the western portion of the city. Back going 2 years ago, we had approximately 2 square miles of unzoned property, about 400 parcels that did not have zoning protections or zoning designations. Over the course of the last 20 months, we have worked through, I think, up to date, 17 original zonings affecting over 300 parcels. Presently, we've got about a dozen in the western area remained unzoned. And tonight, we're bringing you a recommendation to hopefully move forward on zoning for an additional parcel. This property is located off of the Katie's Road or US 68, adjacent to Shadowwood subdivision in proximity to Old Major Lane. The property in total is about 90 acres. The proposal, which was initiated by the Planning Commission, is to zone the top portion of the property AT1, which is an agricultural transitional district. The remainder of the property, which is about 50 acres and away from the roadway frontage, to zone that R2. We have advertised, we've held a public hearing, we've notified adjoining property owners, we have distributed the request to the city's department heads for review and comment. As a result of department head comments, we had no negative department head responses. In reviewing this, the commission found this consistent with the comprehensive plan because this area is designated as low to medium density residential. Also, we found it to be consistent with previous zoning actions as well as activities that have taken place in this part of the city over the last several years. The recommendation was favorable and it was a unanimous recommendation. If any council members have any questions regarding the original zoning, be happy to answer them.
If we have no questions for Tom, we'll ask for a motion to move to the clerk.
Motion.
Right. Right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays likewise? Righty. 4526 Lafette Road, Barrow Development zoning request.
Yes, sir. This is a request from Barrow Development to apply original zoning to property that was recently annexed by the city. As part of what we're doing at CDS to avoid a situation where we're going back and zoning property that has been annexed for several years, as we're annexing property into the city, we're encouraging the developers to request original zoning or the Planning Commission is initiating original zoning. In this particular case, the developer chose to apply for zoning of R4. And if you'll go to the next track, this is the plat of annexation that was recently annexed by the city, total about 14.5 acres. This is south of Stadium of Champions, adjacent to Tiebreaker Park. Next slide, please. And as you can see, this is currently being developed for multifamily housing, total of 132 units on this site. The requested zoning of R4 aligns with what is currently being developed. As this project was submitted, it was reviewed to R4 standards and would be conforming upon original zoning. The commission reviewed this, found it in agreement with the comprehensive plan and in alignment with recent fiscal, social, economic changes in this area of the city. We did advertise for public hearing, held public hearing. We distributed the request to department heads, had no negative comments from department heads. The recommendation of the commission was unanimous to zone this R4. Mayor, if there are any questions, be happy to answer them.
Seeing, is there any questions for Tom on this? Seeing none, I need a motion to direct to the clerk to prepare for an ordinance.
Second.
Got a motion and you got me over here, Clay? Okay. All righty. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we're moving that on towards to the clerk. Thank you. All right, item D is Legacy Hopkinsville Rental Rehabilitation Incentive Program, and that'd be calling on Miss Holly Bobbitt to talk to us about that.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor, council members. We appreciate the opportunity to present this information to you. I'm a little bit shorter, so I'm going to move the mic down just a tad. For those of you who aren't familiar with the Rental Rehabilitation Program, it's a program that was initiated in 2012 by Hopkinsville City Council. It's funded through the Legacy Hopkinsville Program, which was originated in 2005. So we just want to provide a quick update to let you know where we stand. You can go to the next slide. Yeah. Okay, so originally created in 2012, funded by the Legacy Hopkinsville Program. This was amended in 2024 to simplify the program. There were some major modifications that were made that included an application must be submitted within 120 days of property acquisition. Individuals were limited to 2 applications per year. The assessed value of the property was no longer a determining factor in determining how much an eligible applicant could be reimbursed. And then a menu of items were created so that individuals could choose what specific elements of a rental property they wanted to bring up above a basic property maintenance code standard. So we were looking at addressing energy efficiency standards, addressing the major systems, and then also providing for additional aesthetics. We want to show you some that were previously done under the program prior to the amendments in 2024. So we'll show a before picture on the left side of your screen and after picture on the right, and then the property owner is listed at the bottom of the screen. There were 30 projects that were completed in total under the old program, and $228,047.05 in Legacy Hopkinsville funding was utilized. The next one is 911 Central Avenue. Again, just a before and after. Property owned by Banks Property Management. 1407 College Street, we have a before and after of the interior of that property. C3 Investments LLC was the property owner. This is actually a quadplex. It's 2020, 2022, 2024, and 2026 Oak Street. Before on your left, after on your right. Done Right Rentals 2 LLC was that property owner. And then applications to date under the new program are 7. One has been withdrawn, and that is noted at 829 East 19th Street. In the course of that property being rehabilitated, the property owner decided to sell the property as opposed to renting it. So on the next slide, we're going to show you a couple of pictures. This is the only one that has been completed under the new program. This is 714 Riverview Drive. Kinsuji Investments is the property owner. Property received $9,900. The maximum reimbursement is $10,000. He had 9 windows and doors. They're eligible for $100 per window and per door. And if he had had 10, he would have gotten $10,000. But because there were only 9, he was eligible for that amount. Next slide, please. 714 Riverview. This is an interior photograph. This is before and after of the bathroom. This one will receive, I'd have to go back to the previous slide, but this one will receive up to $10,000. $10,000 is the maximum on all of these. Next slide. Oh, a couple more of 714 Riverview. I apologize. The green sticker that everyone always wants to look for to ensure that the electrical upgrades have been completed. Again, Kinsuji Investments. Okay. And the second one by Kinsuji Investments is 710 Riverview. This one is in progress, not completed yet, but you can see the interior bathroom and the remodel that is taking place. The 5 that are in progress, we have a total of $39,000 committed or obligated for those projects. 927 West 2nd Street. Again, this one is in progress. This is not a side-by-side for comparison purposes, but a rear picture of that property to show you the condition that it was in prior to the renovations being started. At a later date, as that progresses, we'll bring you back some side-by-side photos so you can see the changes that have been made. 1000 Walnut Street. Again, this one is in progress. This is owned by WB Properties. And we have two projects that haven't started yet, but they have been approved. So we have 925 Stanley Street, owned by Hopkinsville Rentals, LLC, and 205 Vera Street, owned by J&L Rentals. And as you can see, some properties are in a lot worse condition than others. But again, as these are completed, we'll be happy to bring information back to you to show you the after photos. So under the revised program, in 2024-2025 fiscal year, this body allocated $50,000 for the program. $9,900 has been spent to date. We have outstanding encumbrances in the amount of $39,000, so that leaves us a remaining balance less encumbrances of $1,100. We are not asking for any additional money at this time. We are just bringing a status report to you because we have submitted as part of our budget request to the city of Hopkinsville for the 25-26 fiscal year an additional $50,000. That represents approximately 13% of our full budget request, which is going to be $380,000. I believe that is the end of the slide show, and I would be happy to take any questions that you might have.
Holly, is this
Yes, sir.
a certain area that these projects can be done? What is that?
Yes, sir. It's the Legacy Hopkinsville neighborhood. So it's the 4 areas that surround downtown: East Side, West Side, Jarrett Avenue, and Canton Pike.
Now, does that also overlap with the inner city?
Those are the inner city areas.
But there's two
Those are-
different funds, correct? Inner city res is one funding, this is a separate funding?
No, this is part of the inner city res funding, formerly known as Inner City Residential Enterprise Zone, but
Oh,
now
okay.
referred to as Legacy
The
Hopkinsville.
name
I
of it.
apologize.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We changed the name. I
Thank you.
didn't emphasize that.
Rebranding.
Yes, sorry.
People didn't want to be called them living in the inner city. Nobody wants to be said you live in the inner city.
Right. There was a negative connotation, and we wanted to just rebrand the program to give a more positive outlook. Yes, sir. My apologies.
Any more questions? Go
In
ahead.
general terms, what all do the encumbrances cover?
A lot of them include electrical and plumbing upgrades. Some have siding. A lot of them have insulation. They are required to bring the house up to basic property maintenance code standards to even be eligible. So the above and beyond are those heating source, plumbing systems, electrical systems, roofing, insulation, and then energy efficient windows and doors. They also have the option of placing siding, and they can receive up to $2,000
Okay.
for that. But the maximum reimbursement is $10,000.
I got you, okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Jason Bell.
Yes, sir. We have received a couple of calls, but we have just responded that, that is part of the program. When it was amended, it was changed to be reflective of more of an investment type of program as opposed to a maintenance type of program. So the committee that looked at that wanted to emphasize that properties that were being rehabilitated with this funding source had not been properties that had been owned and rented for a number of years, that the maintenance should have been a responsibility of the property owner during the course of their renting it out to individuals, and that this was geared to be more of an investment type to encourage additional new investment. That is a policy decision of this body. We will implement whatever decision this body makes regarding how many days it has to be in ownership.
I wasn't for it at that time either, but after the fact that I started seeing it.
Right. This body could amend that
Yes, Jason. We can
timeline.
amend that if y'all want to take
Yes.
it back into committee and amend that.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this just for rental property or just rental property?
Just for rental property. There are other incentive programs that are available for new construction, and we'd be happy to bring a report regarding those projects to you if you would like to see that as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
More questions? All right.
Thank you all
Ms.
very much.
Hollis.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you bringing
I
it.
have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is that committee, is there a committee on that right now at this moment?
I will
No,
have to
sir.
reappoint that.
You had to reappoint that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when would that happen?
Because the ones that were on it, Councilman Bruce, Councilman Keel, a couple of them are already no longer on the thing. So if y'all want to revisit this, we can reappoint a committee.
Okay,
Okay?
sounds good.
Thank you.
That's what we'll do. Thank you. Council, I will get with y'all and get a committee together if y'all would like to revisit that. Got I will get that took care of for us. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Holly, for your help. All righty. We'll move into item 8, approval of minutes for March 18th, 2025 regular meeting.
Motion.
Second.
A motion, second by Clayton. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty. Approval of minutes for March 24th, special call meeting. Need a motion?
Second.
Mike, second by Amy. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any discussion? No, excuse me, any nays? Excuse me. Get it down here in a minute, one of these days. No nays, we're moving right along. All righty. Ordinances, 05-2025, Ronald K. Berry property annexation, second reading.
An ordinance annexing approximately 51.66 acres in the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Ronald K. Berry property. Whereas the city of Hopkinsville has declared it desirable to annex certain unincorporated property known as the Ronald K. Berry property into the city of Hopkinsville limits. And whereas the subject property is adjacent to the city's current boundaries and is urban in character or suitable for development for urban purposes. And whereas Ronald Kent Berry and Donna Berry gave prior written consent to annexation, copies of which are on file at the Christian County Courthouse. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, pursuant to KRS 81A.410 and 81A.412, Hopkinsville City Council hereby annexes the following unincorporated area of Christian County into the city limits of Hopkinsville. A portion of land consisting of approximately 51.66 acres, more particularly described in Exhibit A attached here to and incorporated herein by reference as if fully set forth. Hopkinsville City Council hereby declares the service delivery plan and city taxes will be in effect on the first day after publication and notice as required in KRS 81A.470 and KRS 81A.475 have been met. Section 2, if any section, subsection, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such infirmity shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 3, any and all existing ordinances inconsistent with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect after its passage and publication according to law.
Righty. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Travis, Mike, all right. Any discussion? No discussion. I'll call the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Craig? Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Sumner?
Yes.
Councilmember Meek?
Yes.
Councilmember Velez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bell? Councilmember Droud?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh?
Yes.
And that does pass on second reading.
All righty. Ordinance 06-2025, Newcomb Oil Co, LLC Zoning, second reading.
Amending the zoning maps of the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, zone 4.106 acres of property located at 3065 Pembroke Road. Whereas Community and Development Services made a favorable recommendation at their February 24th, 2025 meeting for City Council to approve original zoning application R25-2-1 as filed by the applicant Newcomb Oil Company LLC. And whereas the applicant is requesting that 4.106 acres of property annexed into the city of Hopkinsville by ordinance 36-2024 be zoned B4 Arterial Commercial District. And whereas City Council concurs, said recommendation is in agreement with the Hopkinsville Christian County Comprehensive Plan and significant physical, social, and economic changes have occurred warranting the zoning. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky as follows. Section 2, pursuant to KRS 100.211, Hopkinsville Code of Ordinances and Community and Development Services recommendation dated February 24th, 2025, 4.106 acres of property located at 3065 Pembroke Road along the northeast side of the intersection with Bill Bryan Boulevard, as further described on Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein, is hereby zoned B4 Arterial Commercial District. Section 2, if any section, subsection, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such infirmity shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 3, all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect after its passage and publication according to law.
Motion.
Don, Clayton. Any discussion? Any no discussion? I'll call the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Craig?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Sumner?
Yes.
Councilmember Meek?
Yes.
Councilmember Velez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bell? Councilmember Droud?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh?
Yes.
And that passes on second reading.
Righty. On ordinance 07-2025, Toyota Boshoku, West Kentucky LLC bonding. We also have Mark Franklin on line too, if there's any questions for that. Ms. Bridget.
An ordinance of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, authorizing the issuance of a series of industrial revenue bonds having an aggregate principal amount of up to $230 million, and designated the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky Industrial Building Revenue Bond, Series 2025, Toyota Boshoku Western Kentucky LLC project for the purpose of financing an industrial building project, approving and authorizing the execution and delivery of a lease agreement between the city as lessor and Toyota Boshoku Western Kentucky LLC as lessee. B, a bond purchase agreement providing for the issuance, sale, and delivery of the bonds, and C, other related documents and taking other related actions. Summary 1, the ordinance authorizes the sale and issuance by the city of up to $230 million principal amount of its industrial building revenue bond, Series 2025, Toyota Boshoku Western Kentucky LLC project, the Series 2025 bonds, for the purchase of financing, A, the cost of the acquisition, construction, installation, and equipping of a new smart automotive parts manufacturing facility consisting of real property improvements, tangible personal property, and manufacturing equipment to be located on a 46.96 acre lot within the jurisdictional boundaries of the city. The project, and B, the cost of issuance of the Series 2025 bonds. The financing will be carried out under a lease agreement. The lease agreement by and between the city as lessor and Toyota Boshoku Western Kentucky LLC, the company, as lessee, and a bond purchase agreement, the bond purchase agreement between the city and Toyota Boshoku America Incorporated as purchaser and a servicing agent thereunder. 2, the ordinance authorizes and approves the execution of a lease agreement under which rental payments will be received from the company to pay the Series 2025 bonds as authorized by KRS 103.200 through 103.285 as amended. The Act. B, the bond purchase agreement which sets forth the terms and conditions upon which the Series 2025 bonds are to be secured, issued, and outstanding, and provides for the sale of the Series 2025 bonds, and C, related documents. 3, the ordinance provides that under the Act, the Series 2025 bonds will constitute special limited obligations of the city payable solely from receipts derived under the lease agreement and the security created under the bond purchase agreement. 4, the ordinance authorizes the mayor and city officials to take any necessary actions and to execute on behalf of the city any necessary or appropriate documents in order to effect the issuance and delivery of the 2025 bonds and to carry out the purposes and terms of the above described documents. The foregoing provisions are intended to be a summary of the ordinance, and reference is hereby made to the full text of the ordinance for the full and complete statement of its contents. The full text of the ordinance is available for public inspection during normal business hours in the office of the city clerk, 715 South Virginia Street, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, 42240.
Right. Need a motion?
Motion.
Clayton and Travis. All righty. Any discussion on this?
Question, Bill.
Yes, sir.
Is this something similar we did with Ascend? Did we do something similar? IRB bond?
Yeah, I was going to ask
We did
Doug, if Doug could
This
give us.
here
it was
is just a
some-
rebate model.
This is an industrial revenue bond where the city's going to hold the title to the property. Mark Franklin, I believe, is online here.
I am. Can you hear me, Doug?
There you go.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, I can explain. So this is a little different from Ascend. Ascend was what I'll call a true financing. So Ascend actually truly borrowed to help pay for costs of their project. In this case, Toyota Hopkinsville is not really borrowing to finance this project. If the bonds are instead are just a tool to achieve a property tax incentive to locate them in Hopkinsville. So it's similar in that they're both IRBs or industrial revenue bonds, but in this case, IRBs are just a tool we have to create the incentive. And so Toyota Hopkinsville is actually going to own the bonds that we're using. So there's not actually an outside lender involved. So it's a much simpler process. But like the Ascend matter, the city is not liable for any debt service. And we call them special limited obligations of the company. And so this is a smaller scale deal, but creates a great benefit to help locate the company in Hopkinsville.
Okay, you answered my second question too. We're not on the hook for this.
No.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mark Franklin while we got him online here? Anything on this side? All right. Mark, thank you so very much. All right.
Thank you.
I'll call the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Craig?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Sumner?
Yes.
Councilmember Meek?
Yes.
Councilmember Velez?
Yes.
Councilmember Bell? Councilmember Droud?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh?
Yes.
That passes on first reading.
Okay. We'll move into item 10, municipal orders. Municipal order 14-2025 Bypass Warehouse LLC incentives.
A municipal order establishing a commercial incentive district, authorizing and directing the retention of 80% of any increase in ad valorem taxes due and payable to the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky on real property owned by Bypass Warehouse LLC for a period of 5 years. Whereas the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky is authorized to levy and impose ad valorem taxes on real property located within the city. And whereas Bypass Warehouse LLC company has proposed to construct a warehouse on property located on Commerce Court, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, as provided on the proposed site plan attached hereto as Exhibit A. And whereas said warehouse will include commercial warehouse space totaling approximately 150,000 square feet, whereas company estimates an investment of at least $5 million in said commercial warehouse development, and whereas said development will promote economic development and will provide much-needed commercial warehouse space in Hopkinsville, Christian County, and will provide additional revenue to the city through the collection of occupational license fees and ad valorem tax revenue. And whereas it is an incentive and an inducement for Bypass Warehouse LLC to develop the commercial warehouse development and create jobs in Hopkinsville, the city hereby agrees to authorize the company to retain through a rebate 80% of any increase in ad valorem tax revenue otherwise derived by the city from any increased assessment of the real property owned by company located within the district identified on Exhibit A within the city. Now, therefore, be it ordered as follows. There is hereby established for the purpose of calculating and rebating ad valorem taxes a commercial incentive district hereinafter referred to as Bypass Warehouse LLC, the boundaries of which are set forth on Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein. The City Council of Hopkinsville, Kentucky hereby authorizes Bypass Warehouse LLC to retain through a rebate 80% of any increase in ad valorem tax revenue otherwise derived by the city resulting from any increased assessment after January 1st, 2025 of any real property owned by company and located within the retail incentive district for a period of 5 years. The City Council of Hopkinsville further states that the retention and rebate of ad valorem taxes authorized and directed herein shall be commenced upon written notification from the company to activate said incentives within 12 months of the execution of this municipal order and shall not apply in the event company fails to develop a commercial warehouse within the commercial incentive district within 24 months of the extension of the municipal order, fails to comply with local, state, or federal laws, fails to allow the city or any city agency a requested easement, or otherwise fails to comply with terms hereof.
All righty. Need a motion?
So moved.
Amy? Second. Clayton? All righty. Any discussion? Discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Municipal Order 15-2025 surplus property.
Hopkinsville City Council hereby declares the attached listed weapon surplus property and authorizes the mayor to dispose of said item by methods available in KRS 65.041.
Motion to accept.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving right along. Municipal Order 16-2025 solid waste truck leases.
Municipal order of the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, approving a lease or leases for the financing of public projects, providing for the payment and security of the lease or leases, and authorizing the execution of various documents related to such lease or leases. Whereas the governing body of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, the leasee, has the power pursuant to Section 65.940 et sec of the Kentucky Revised Statutes to enter into lease agreements with or without the option to purchase in order to provide for the use of the property for public purposes. And whereas the governing body of the leasee, the governing body, has previously determined and hereby further determines that the leasee desires to purchase and finance one or more motor vehicles for the use by the leasee, which are defined as the project and the lease hereinafter described. And whereas the governing body has determined and hereby determines that it is in the best interest of the leasee that the leasee enter into one or more lease agreements, each lease to be administered by the Kentucky Association of Counties Leasing Trust, the program administrator, and funded by the bank, financial institution, or finance corporation offering the best interest rate and terms. The leaseor is selected by the mayor for the leasing by the leasee from the leaser of the project. Now therefore be it ordered by the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, recitals and authorization. Recitals to this municipal order are incorporated herein as set forth in this section in their entirety and are hereby found and determined to be true and correct. The leasee hereby approves the lease in substantially the form presented to this governing body. It is further found and determined that the project identified in the lease is public property to be used for public purposes, that is necessary and desirable and in the best interest of the leasee to enter into lease agreement for the purposes therein specified, and the execution and delivery of the lease and all representations, certifications, and other matters contained in the closing memorandum with respect to the lease, or as may be required by the leaseor before delivery of the lease, are hereby approved, ratified, and confirmed. The mayor and city clerk of the leasee are hereby authorized to execute the lease together with such other agreements or certifications which may be necessary to accomplish the transaction completed by the lease. Section 2, Administration of the Lease. The Kentucky Association of Counties Leasing Trust is hereby acknowledged to be the program administrator under the lease. Section 3, Separability. If any section, paragraph, or provision of this municipal order shall be held to be invalid or unenforceable, or for any reason, the invalidity of their enforceability, such section, paragraph, or provision shall not affect any of the remaining provisions of this municipal order. Section 4, Open Meeting Laws. The governing body hereby finds and determines that all formal actions relative to the adoption of this municipal order were taken into an open meeting of this governing body, and that all deliberations of this governing body and of its committees, if any, which resulted in formal action, were in meetings open to the public in full compliance with applicable legal requirements. Section 5, Conflicts. All ordinances, resolutions, orders, or parts thereof in conflict with the provisions of this municipal order are, to the extent of such conflict, hereby repealed, and the provisions of this municipal order shall prevail and be given effect. Section 6, Effective Date. Municipal order shall take effect from and after its passage as provided by law.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Amy, seconded by Travis. Any discussion? Discussion? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hold on. And any opposed? Yes. All right. Good enough. Thank you. Executive orders. Checked off the wrong one there. Executive orders 22-2025 Code of Ordinance Enforcement Board.
Effective immediately, Rodney Davis, Mark Graham, and Connie McGahee shall be reappointed to the Code of Ordinance Enforcement Board. These terms shall expire February 28th, 2028. We need a motion and a second.
Motion.
Motion second by Mike. All right. Any discussion? All those say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? All righty. Executive Order 23-2025 Cable TV Oversight.
Effective immediately, Kenneth Hatzakorzian shall be reappointed to the Hopkinsville Cable Television Oversight Authority. This term shall expire March 31st, 2029. We need a motion and a second.
Motion by Seth.
Second.
Second by Clayton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed likewise? All righty. Executive Order 24-2025 Hopkinsville Christian County Airport Board.
Effective immediately, Dr. Robert Baston shall be reappointed to the Hopkinsville and Christian County Airport Board. This term shall expire February 28th, 2029. We also need a motion and a second on this one.
Motion.
Got Clayton and Travis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Executive Order 25-2025 Ethics Board.
Effective May 1st, 2025, Jim Monroe shall be reappointed to the Board of Ethics. This term shall expire April 30th, 2028. Effective May 1st, 2025, Rich Cooper shall be reappointed to the Board of Ethics as an alternate member. This term shall expire April 30th, 2026. We also need a motion.
Don, need a second?
Second.
Okay. All right. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Okay. Executive Order 26-2025, Hopkinsville Christian County Landbank Authority.
Effective immediately, City Administrator Troy Body shall be reappointed as the mayor's designee to the Hopkinsville and Christian County Landbank Authority Incorporated. This term shall expire January 31st, 2029.
Motion.
Second.
They put you on there right quick. All right, we got motion in a second. Any discussion? All right, no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Yes, sir. We didn't see.
Zip it. Are you opposed?
No, he does a really good job on the land bank. Thank you. All righty. We will go to councilman members' comments.
I just had a quick question.
Yes, sir.
didn't hit me when Holly was talking, where I kept seeing inner city res. Doug, is it not still called that in all of our ordinances? I don't think we changed it in our ordinances. I don't know if it matters, but I think that's where I'm still reading inner city.
That's where you're still reading it.
Okay, so does it matter from a legal standpoint? Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, but no, you are seeing it that way. So, any other council member comments?
I think we all just want to echo your comments from earlier to all of our public works and safety, fire, rescue, police department and all for having done such an exemplary job just keeping us safe and everything that they did. I mean, Hopkinsville, maybe in not so positive light, made the national news. We had people calling from around the country.
Right.
And we were just very proud to see those representatives of Hopkinsville, because people from my family and others that were calling me, asking about us from around the country were just commented, how professional, how great of a job it seemed like they were doing. And so really made me proud of them and proud of Hopkinsville.
Thank you.
I have a comment as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of along the same line. So I was out of town. So it's you feel really helpless when all you're seeing is the pictures.
Yeah.
And it was really overwhelming seeing Founders Square and, this whole downtown area full of water. And I kept thinking about, Mike Perry and all the work that was going on behind the scenes. And I also was just overwhelmed with kind of emotion thinking about it. And then I got the phone call that my dog had been evacuated from the pet lodge,
Yes, ma'am.
which sounds so crazy, but there were dogs on boats. And my dog was one of those dogs. So anyways, I was thinking about how grateful I am for just everybody involved. And of course, my dog is family. We love her so much. And I was thankful that my dog was okay. But it was much more than just dogs. It was everybody really coming together to work for a better cause. And I'm just grateful to be from Hopkinsville. So thanks to everybody involved.
Anybody else? All righty. Now, item 13, closed session, discussion of economic development proposal, KRS 61.8101G. We need to go into closed session.
Motion.
Second.
Got a motion
far and what you'll continue to do to make sure our city and our residents are come back from this awful flood that we had this past week. We have the best first responders in the state of Kentucky. I'll continue to say that, from our police department, fire department, road crew, ECC, rescue team, emergency management, and many more that I'm sure I'm leaving off. I just want to say thank you. It's going to take some time to clean up our city, but I know we'll get there. Our solid waste team is already working, picking up debris and the normal trash pickup routes as well. It's going to take some time, so I'm just saying, just be patient. We're working on it. And lastly, I know there are a lot of people in our community hurting right now and they're in need. You're starting to see some disaster recovery centers pop up now in Hopkinsville. If you're able to donate items or your time, please do. It's going to take our entire community working together to get through this. And we're one of the biggest giving communities that I've ever seen. And now it's time to show other communities how we take care of our own people. So if you're able to volunteer, please do that. And with that, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.